Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Adventure. Last episode, Draven found the magic mirror in the marsh cave, and he also got the magic of fire. With this fire magic, he can finally defeat a few enemies that he couldn't defeat with his weapons because they were invulnerable to the weapons. So some of these monsters include the Swamp Man here. They can drop ethers, which will refill your magic. Or they can drop a will stone, and what that does is it temporarily increases your will, so your gauge at the bottom will fill up faster. There's another item that an future enemy is going to drop pretty soon, called the crystal, and what that does is if you use that, that automatically fills your will bar at the bottom to max. So the enemy's going to start dropping these like stone type items, and basically what the stone item does basically was it temporarily increases the stat that it is named after. So like the will stone will make your will a little bit more powerful, wisdom stone will make your wisdom a little bit more powerful, nectar makes your power a little bit more powerful. Yeah, that's the only one that's like named weird. Then the stamina stone does with your stamina. So we just equipped that mirror that we got in the marsh cave, and this guy turns into a werewolf. He's just a mini boss. We can take him out pretty easily with the fire magic. The fire magic's good because it kind of homes in on enemies. So it's kind of like a homing shot. It's still pretty powerful. A lot of times in games like like the shmup games, shoot 'em up games, I watch a program called Shooting Games Weekly, and a lot of times like the ship has a homing missile. They tend to be really weak because they home in on enemies. But the fire is still pretty strong, so it does that homing, so that's nice. It allows us to take out those face orbs. It allows us to take out those guys over there on the left, the green guys. They kind of look like zombies to me, but like the official name is pirates. I guess they're pirates because they have that eye patch. But yeah, they're invulnerable to your weapons, so you gotta take them out with the fire spell. Yeah, we don't have a helper here, at least for the first part in this dungeon, so we will be getting a helper once we rescue Badger. She'll be back with us again. But remember what that guy who helped us, the red mage-looking guy in the marsh cave, he said ghouls they tend to be taken to the basement of this place and put into coffins. So we gotta go try to find Badger. So that's just a dead end to the left, so we gotta use our mattock here to open this doorway here. A few places will need mattocks in this area. Again, quite a few levels here, taking out all these enemies that you can't take out with your weapons. They tend to give you a better experience because, you know, they're what you call it, you can't normally take them out. You gotta do something special to defeat them. So it's a little reward. Owls are worth quite a bit of experience there. They're worth 12 experience, so. The owls can do a new status ailment on you called Dark. It's not as bad as it sounds, it just makes the screen dark, but you can still see like enemies and kind of see your way around, so it's not that bad. Like other status effects, it just it'll disappear after a while. Or if you have the heal magic, you can use the heal magic, but we don't have that yet. So eventually we'll get a spell called Heal, which removes negative status ailments. We'll take out that skeleton. And if we, we got to take out that, we use a mattock to take out one of those pots. And then that takes us down here. In the basement, we're going to get a new weapon. If we tried to go up there, we would have come to a gap that we couldn't cross, and we need this new weapon that we're about to get to cross gaps. So, yeah, we got a whole bunch of new weapons, and all of them are opening up new puzzles for us, new ways forward. The sickle allows us to cut down new plants. The axe is going to allow us to cut down trees, and the chain sickle is going to allow the chain whip is going to allow us to cross gaps we swing it and we hit one of those poles, and it pulls us across the area. So whether it's a pit or it's a block, yeah, just you whip those poles and you get pulled across it. So yeah, the game basically teaches you, as soon as you get that thing, they trap you there, and then you're like, well, what do I do? Well, just hit the pole there with your new weapon. So yeah, the game teaches you pretty nice. It does a good job doing that. So I'm going to try to farm these skeletons here because I want to get some keys. Remember, if you don't defeat all the enemies in a room and come back, the enemies will respawn. And then respawn in different numbers. So there was only one skeleton there last time, but we respawn the enemies because we didn't defeat them all, and then two appeared, and that allowed us to farm a key. Chain is good because it has a really long reach compared to like other weapons. Unlike the axe and the sickle, though, it doesn't have that rotation around you. So you give up area attack for length attack, but it's all good. That length attack will come in really handy in a few places. So, we got these enemies here. Once again, we've got these fire on the pirates. Nice. Charge you really quick. Now, when you get the full max will power, your chain, what that does is it makes the chain go a little longer. So like right here, this gap is a little too long to cross with the chain whip. You'd have to wait until your will filled all the way up. See, I can't reach it. I'd have to wait until my will filled up. But we can just fall down this pit. We end up in a basement below, and we just have to go through 2 rooms, and we'll get back to that room that we were just in. So it's probably actually quicker to just go this way than wait for your will. You might get some experience too, so. Yeah, and you'll see we open this door, come down, and we're on the other side of this pit, so now crossing it the other way won't be a problem at all. The thing is right there. So, alright, we could go 2 ways here. We can go to the right, that just takes a few rooms, or we can waste a mattock and smash through those pots, which I'll do, because we have so many mattocks. It seems like the enemies who drop mattocks drop them more frequently than the enemies who drop the keys. So yeah, look at all the mattocks we have. Just chop it down. And then, accidentally bump that chest. We had puzzles like this before where we had to put a chest on the switch to make the something appear. Staircase appears. Now take us down to the basement here. We've got another pot we have to destroy to unveil staircases. We're almost there. So this is why I wanted to farm keys, because this door is locked here. We need to equip our keys to open this door. And we want to check the coffin there at the bottom, one to the left, and we find Badger. So now Badger's back to helping us again, and just like last time, if we do the Ask command, Badger will help us out by healing our wounds, casting that restore spell on us. That's going to be really good because we have a boss coming up here. See, we were told about Mr. Lee, and I guess maybe it's a nod to Christopher Lee. He was the guy who played Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. And he also played Saruman in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And but apparently one of his earlier roles was he played Count Dracula. So we are going to fight a werewolf. Now, you know, werewolves and vampires. So Mr. Lee here, who this manor belongs to, turns out he's a vampire. Because I guess they named him after, like, in you know, homage of Christopher Lee, who played Dracula a long time ago. So, yeah. We'll head up this way. Luckily, your followers follow you around, so it doesn't matter that, like, they don't have a chain whipped across those things. They'll just appear with you in the next room. So, yeah. Badger doesn't need a chain whip. She uses her magic. she's a magical girl. She's a good girl, too. Look her. She's pretty little thing. So yeah, good thing Draven found her here. Like I said, she was missing. You don't want a little ratty friend missing for a while. Now we just make our way back to the beginning. And that's where we'll encounter Mr. Lead of Empire. So, he's not too difficult for a boss, but... And fire will also be effective against him, if you want. But even better, the chain whip. Maybe that's a nod to Castlevania. In Castlevania, I know I did 2 playthroughs of Castlevania. I did Castlevania 2 and with Tiger Mouse, and then there was Castlevania 4 with Monkey Rat, his brother. But in those games, the Belmont clan, they use whips to fight Dracula, and the most powerful whip is usually the chain whip, the Morning Star. Castlevania 2 was the sacred whip, the flame whip, but you had to get your Morning Star, the chain whip, before that, and a guy blessed it with holy power. So, this is the final room before the entrance, so we want to make sure we're healed up, because when we step in here, donk! The door closes and we're stuck with Mr. Lee, the vampire. He goes to one of 4 places in the room. You see, he just basically takes a diamond shape here. And when he stops at one of the corners of the diamond, he will open his cape and release bats. So you want to aim for his body, so you can use the fire spell to damage him as well, and he like takes away. But normally if you line yourself up with him pretty well, you should be able to defeat the bats as they come out. So now we got the sleep spell there, which basically just can put enemies to sleep. Not all enemies can be put to sleep, but it's good for like stronger enemies that and enemies that like move around a lot. We're gonna run into these bee enemies that fly around. They're kind of erratic in their flight patterns, so the sleep might be good for them. So these people won't see anything new for us, but Badger did say that, hey, Wendell's to the south. So we're going to go to Wendell, we're going to go around Wendell, but the problem is when we get to Wendell, everybody wants Badger. And someone's going to try to steal Badger again from us. So we're going to use Badger to our advantage to do a lot of exploration before we head to Wendell. Kind of get an idea of where we need to go. So yeah, see the lizard men, because we got rid of that bronze key, they don't let you the soft lock you out, so like they're going to open the they're going to respawn the key here. So actually after we defeat these lizard men, the key will appear again, so that way you can't, like, in case you were just playing for the first time and you accidentally threw away the bronze key before you enter the marsh cave, you can always just get it back. And they do that with all like the major items, the progression items. But we don't need to pick up that bronze key because, like I said, we already did the marsh cave, so we are good to go. And now we're using the sickle that we found in the marsh cave to cut down these plants. And that'll allow us to get a little bit further. We're going to run into another problem. There's the side of Wendell. You can see the little brick down there. That's your clue that that's where the town is. You can also look at your map. But yeah, so even though we got the sickle earlier, we wouldn't have been able to advance much further than this screen because of the we need the chain whip to cross this border, the river. Gotta wait for I could use an ether to heal myself up and get magic points back to take out the swamp enemies, but no. See, we got these pig warriors. They actually have 2 drops. They can drop either candy, which is not very good, or they can drop a gold bag. There's 3 different types. There's rubies, gold bags, and opals. Those items do nothing, but they're just there for you to sell for cash. So ruby is worth 100 gold, gold is 750, and the opal, I believe, is 1,500. So, now up to the north, if we went right, would have taken us to Wendell. But like I said, I want to explore the map a little bit here, point out some stuff, get an idea of where things are, what we're going to be doing. So these crabs, they can drop an item called Nectar, and that basically doubles your attack power for a few seconds. So here's we're going to have to use the axe now. We're going to start running these trees, and we got to chop down trees with the axe. Now sometimes they leave a stump, sometimes they just totally disappear, and that's where, that makes the way forward. So here's those bees you can potentially use your sleep spell on. See how they kind of fly around erratically. Axe equipped because since they're flying around, that arc of the axe will hit. So if we go to the cross that, there's a merchant shop to the south, but right now there's no one in the merchant shop. Welcome to the dwarf cave. And that's kind of a sequence trigger, because the Gaia Pass leads to the western land. I used to play at the old mine with Watts. So, there's a dwarf named Watts, and he's at a mine. I'm going to learn why that mine is important from some of these other dwarfs. Gaia has its own will and feelings. It likes silver. Strange, isn't it? Watts likes the mines. He went there today, too. He's looking for some silver. So Watts is looking for silver. And apparently silver is needed to pass through the Cave of Gaia. And we're going to see the Cave of Gaia in a little bit. But the mine, in order to get through the mine, there's going to be a mine cart that needs to be oiled. And the merchant to the south of the dwarf area there, if we cross the chain width there, he sells the oil to allow us to use the mine cart. But he doesn't appear until after, unfortunately, Badger gets kidnapped again, so if we try to step in the guy's mouth here, he's like, whoa, don't walk in my mouth. And he's gonna spit us out because we don't have any silver on us. Yuck. So, but he likes the taste of silver, so if we go in there later with silver weapons and armor, he'll let us through. So that's why we have to get the silver. And there's a reason, of course, we're gonna have to go through that cave, because the kidnapper, spoiler, is going to take Badger through that cave. So we're just gonna keep chopping things around here. So now, like I said, those pig warriors can drop either gold or candy. Obviously, you're hoping for the gold, because candy is kind of useless with all these cures that we have. And with Badger walking around with us, I'll give us some fanatics too. You know, we got gold, like I said, gold sells for 750 gold pieces, and there's no reason to hold on to it, because it doesn't do anything else. It's just there for you to sell. You just gotta chop down random trees, look for the opening. And then, once you find the opening, keep heading through. And this way is the way we're gonna go to get to the silver mine. Right before the dungeon, they have a little inn. That's going to be kind of common around for future dungeons. They'll tend to, right before you get to a dungeon, they'll have like a little inn that you can heal yourself up at. Not important for us right now when we're doing exploration, because we have Badger with us, and Badger will heal us up entirely, so there's no point to using the inn right now. But if you're taking a lot of damage and Badger's not with you, the inn's an option. Pig warriors, they get pretty good experience, so. And we gain another level. It's time for a power level. Next time we'll get the wisdom level, and like I said, just keep rotating. So here's the mine, the silver mine that Watts went to, but we can't get into any further into it because when we go to the cart, it needs to be oiled. And we can't buy the oil because the merchant who sells the oil doesn't appear until after Badger is kidnapped. So Well, that's it for exploring in this area. Next time we're going to head back to Wendell and advance with the plot. Take care, have a good one, thanks for following along. Bye!